everybody, it's Seltzer, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite games that I've been playing recently. This is Heroes of the Storm. It's Blizzard's version of a MOBA game, but they've changed a lot of the elements that you might be familiar with in MOBAs. Each map has objectives. This one is the Haunted Mine, so you venture underground, you collect the skulls, and you're going to unleash a golem whose power is related to the number of skulls your team collects versus the enemy team. And we're spawning in here on, this is the Nexus, the spawning pad. Actually, Nexus is a little statue in front of it. But instead of items, instead of what you'd be buying first off, you're going to build a talent tree instead. So these are going to buff up your attacks, or potentially buff up your passive. Here it's Hatred for Valla. She's the Demon Hunter, and she's pretty much a standard AD carry. Heroes. She's got a Hungering Arrow here, which I've chosen to return health. That means every time somebody gets hit by it, they're going to give me some health back. And then I have a W here, which creates a little fan with arrows. Later on, I like to get one that launches grenades or that slows my enemies down. Those are all things you're going to be able to do with the talent tree. There's a slow start. You gotta wait behind the gate until the countdown begins, but then you run into lane. In Heroes of the Storm, unlike in other MOBA, maps change from round to round, from objective to objective. In Dota and League of Legends, you're playing everything on the same map, the same 3 lanes. Here we have a 2-lane map, sometimes it's a 3-lane map. It depends on what the objective of the map is, and every map is set up differently, all based around the objective. So here on this, we have 2 lanes, but we also have the underground in the mines, and that'll open up a bit later. We'll talk about that. This is some pretty standard early game stuff here. As you can see, we're both at level 1. This is where you just kind of play around, feel them out. We've got a 3v2 advantage, so I'm going to poke a little bit. Ideally here we can push them back, deny them some experience. An important thing to note about experience, you're going to get that every time you kill a monster, every time you kill a creep in lane. But you have to be there in the area of effect for it. You have to be close enough to the minions as they die, and that's the only requirement. You don't have to worry about gold, and you don't have to worry about last hitting or denying creeps. All you have to do is be around them when they die. But we're working in a nice team here. I'm up here with Tassadar and Arthas. Arthas has some stun attacks. He's nice and tanky. And here's Tassadar. He's got a Time Warp, which is going to be an area of effect slow. A bit of a stun, and he's got that Storm there. Overall, it's a pretty nasty combo to be messing with up here. We're doing pretty well. Down at the bottom, you can see they're focusing a bit more on objectives as they're wandering around the minimap, going after one of the creep camps, and still holding their own in lane. They look pretty healthy. So as you can see, we're actually ahead in experience. Just there, we hit level 3 for our team right before they hit level 3. So that's a pretty good sign. We're pushing them back inside their gates. We wiped out all their minions in lane. Now is a great time for us to get together and think about taking a creep camp. Level 3 is when you're feeling pretty strong, when you can kind of hold your own. And so we're going to leave Tassadar to watch the lane, and Arthas and I are going to take out these easy creeps. They have siege attacks, and what you used to be able to do is they're throwing big boulders here. You used to be able to see where the boulder was going to land and dodge it. So you can almost take out this camp at level 1, but they've changed that now. You can't quite dodge the attacks until they're fighting in lane. Leveled up again. I'm going to choose another talent for my tree and continue fighting these guys. Now you can see that's a ownership level. You got to stand in the circle and you can capture the creeps, and now they're fighting on our side. So they're going to go to lane and they're going to start chucking those rocks at the enemy team. Got a little too close to the enemy here. They had the ability to polymorph me, turn me into a pig, but they're also trying to capture their creep camp. So we're going to stop them from doing that. That's going to be a big win for us, because we're going to push them back and then we're going to take their creep camp. And these guys, the ones we already captured, they're chucking rocks here at the enemy structures. They're doing a great job knocking that down. And 2 more are going to join them pretty soon when Tassadar and Arthas are finished with their creep camp. So what I'm doing here is I'm running back to the Moonwell. That Moonwell is going to restore health and mana. That's going to charge up slowly over time, but they're great resources. You can grab them every, I think, 100 seconds. Going down into the mine here, this is where you're going to see they're open, and I have to collect some skulls. We have to shoot these zombie hordes, and I'm great at this because I have this area of effect fan of arrows, and they're going to knock out these camps pretty quickly. There are 100 skulls in total, and once all 100 are collected, that's how you activate the You gotta make sure you collect all the skulls too. Every once in a while, somebody leaves like 1 skull down in the mine, and you're like, I can't leave. Where's my golem? Oh my god! And it's all in the bag. And you're like, yeah. And the other team, if they're losing, they want everyone to get. It's a whole struggle. But we're down here, and we're gonna figure it out this time. It looks like just me in the mines. The rest of my team is holding them back, but That's fine. I can clear almost the whole mine by myself. Ideally, I'll get some help on that big guy in the middle there. You see his white skull.
As you wish.
So as I clear this out, it's pretty unexciting, but it looks like one of my teammates has joined me. He's also going to clear. That big guy in the middle, he used to be worth 50 skulls, and so fights were really all based on who got the big guy, but they've changed it a little bit. Now he's only worth 20 skulls, and I feel like it's a bit more balanced. We're doing a great job here pushing ahead. We've already got 44. We got about half the mines. Oh, there we go. More than half, so our golem is already going to be a little bit stronger, but we'll see how far we get ahead. I also have to choose another talent here. I'm going to go with repeating arrows, I think. So that means when I vault backwards, when I use my E to escape a fight, I'm going to refresh my Q, and I can fire that off again and gain some health if I hit some heroes or some enemies. Now we're going to fight this big guy. Me and Gazlo are down here. Gazlo is great for fighting against creeps. It's going to go down pretty quickly. I do a lot of damage here as Valla. You got to grab all those skulls when they come out, and we're just about done. So somebody's going to go north, and hopefully Gazlo goes south, collects those other skulls, and we're going to be ready to siege our enemy lane. Valla, you'll notice, is wearing the very fashionable pink skin that was earned after 2 tiers of quest unlocks. You get hero quests every day, you get class-based quests every day, and those over time add up to points to unlock all sorts of basic skin color changes and things in game. If you want a really fancy skin or a really fancy mount, something different than this horse, you're gonna have to pay for it. But I just am happy with my pink Valla. I think she looks pretty stylish. We're going to take down their moonwell. That means they can no longer heal at that moonwell. Now we got to take down this fort. And that'll be a big win for us. Push them back this far.
Your golem is stronger than your enemies.
Our golem has spawned. We are at 84 skulls. He's got 14 skulls. So it looks like our golem is absolutely going to demolish people. Here he is coming up the top lane. We're going to take out a creep camp. That's going to help us move things along. If we can hit them with all this at once, it's going to be very hard for the enemy team to deal with. But the ideal situation would have been to grab these creeps while we were getting skulls in the mine. That way the enemy team would have to choose between the creeps attacking their lane and us in the mines, who they're going to fight with. But fortunately, they left us alone this time. Down here is the enemy golem. We're going to take him out rather quickly. He's a bit of a lightweight. It's always good to knock him out because he can do a lot of damage.
Fort destroyed.
Now we're moving it as a team. This is when the game gets really exciting for me. Are we all going to stick together, guys? Are we going to fight? Are we going to fight? No, it looks like Tassadar and I are going to make a break for top. This is a watchtower. We're going to claim that for ourselves. Get a bigger sphere of vision. Very important in this game. And I got some time, so I'm going to take out their siege minions as well. You know, I really want to grab these guys out into my army. Put some hurt down on the enemy team. My golem's doing a great job up there, and they're buying me a lot of time, but I don't think I can finish this all on my own. Go back to the lane. Looks like our Gazlo is pretty beat up, too. I'm going to go back, I think, to the Moonwell, grab some health, power up. Next time I see some people, I can fire off my Hungering Arrow, grab some more health. I'm not in too bad a situation, because thanks to my E, that backwards vault, I can get out of situations pretty quickly. I'm going to be left alone here as I take this guy down. You see I can't avoid his rocks anymore. No matter how hard I try. Captured these guys. Now they fight for me. You saw they were cowering in fear before I claimed them. Their lives were in my hands. Here in the center, unfortunately this camp doesn't respawn for another 40 seconds, but this is the night camp. It's one of the hardest hitting creep camps you can capture in this game. Of course, other maps have different creep camps, different things available, different powers. Some even have whole golems you can capture on your own, the same way we capture the siege guys. But for the golem map, for the undead mines, all you get are the knights and the tossers. Our golem has expired. We are 1 level ahead, and it looks like the Elite Tauren Chieftain is outside of his territory, so we're going to punish him for that. I don't think he made such a smart move. I don't know what he thinks he's doing alone in the woods over here, so we're going to beat him up a little bit, but ultimate Ultimately, I'm pretty sure he's gonna outrun us. He's a sneaky guy, and he has a lot of ways to knock you off his trail. When you see the night camp spawn, Gazlo's gonna take care of that. Gazlo's great at taking out creep camps. Arthas and I are gonna chase this guy down.
Let none survive.
You will pay! He does get away in the end there, but just in time, because I noticed right over here, Tassadar is in a kind of insane fight. He's getting beat on from 3 different directions. See if we can knock people off his trail. It's kind of an insane move, but ultimately, he's going to use his ultimate. He's going to get turned into a pig. He's going to turn back into his ultimate form. Here our knights are marching into the lane. Those are the ones that Gazlo just claimed for us, and I'm going to run the hell away, because this is not a good situation for me to be in. I'm really low health, and people are looking for a fight. So I'm going to go all the way back to base. I'm going to restore my health and mana as I hang out on the platform. Tassadar's here too. Glad to know he made it out of there alive.
I believe they're hungry.
And let's see what's happening in bottom lane. The mines have opened again. We got to get the skulls. Now this is kind of scary because Murky is chucking his little Merklings at our buildings. Now let me tell you about Murky. Murky is unlike any other hero. Most heroes, they fight, they got a lot of health, they die, they gotta wait some time before they respawn again, come back into the fight, and use their moves. Murky is not like that. Murky is a glass cannon that is totally designed to just non-stop Zerg siege your stuff. I think we'll see more of Murky later on. So down here on the mines, we're gonna be collecting some of the skulls again. I have a bit more of my team down here. It's really comforting. They're gonna head straight for the big guy. I don't know if everyone's quite registered yet that he doesn't give 50 skulls. I know it took me like 2-3 games last night before I was like, we're gonna take this guy out. We got our whole team down here, so I'm feeling pretty confident. Looks like the red team's still up on top of the map. Murky is still sieging our fort, and the rest of their team is in bottom lane. Gotta clean up the rest of the mine here, but everyone's on the task, so it shouldn't take too long. And Nova's back in base, so that won't be too stressful for us to worry about. Gonna choose another skill here. This is Tumble. This is gonna let me use my vault twice to escape.
Rise again, my
That very last skull. See? It's so easy to leave the skulls behind and forget about them. You can't. Gazlo's giving us some advice here, very friendly. Go to the golem. We want to make sure that our golem, he's pretty far pushed up there, you can see him on the minimap, into the enemy base. And if we can get behind him and kill anyone that tries to kill him, he's going to tear through to their nexus. See our golem rising up from the ground here. This is a really neat animation. It really creeps me out. Our golem has risen!
Powerful.
Arthas and I are gonna ride in here. He completely ignores his little tower, but we really gotta take this thing out. This can do a lot of damage. Pretty big fight here. We have almost the whole team on location. The rest of them are on their way. But while they focus on taking out our golem, we're gonna focus on taking out the enemy team. And actually what we need to focus on, I don't even see it because it's off my screen, I'm so focused on killing everybody. They're taking out the nexus. This is them pushing with that final golem. They have all the strength they need, all that siege power. The golem does a great job even of stunning the enemy team. We can just put the hurt on the nexus. We have 3 siege minions that have come from our minions in lane. And with that said, we have completely taken down the enemy team and won a game of Heroes of the Storm.
Well done. Well done indeed.
So I hope you enjoyed checking out Heroes of the Storm with me. It's one of my favorite games, and really that was just a small peek because there's a bunch of different maps, there's a ton of different heroes, and there's a whole bunch of different ways to play. So give it a try when it comes out. If you're interested in hanging out and getting another look at it, I like to play on Tuesdays on twitch.tv/fragdolls, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you liked it, like it.
Another thing that's kind of worrisome is everyone in this room has either tried to kill me or beat me up at one point.